Testing, testing, round 11, NPL Men's New South Wales Match of the Round. And it comes to you from Leichhardt Oval, where APIA Leichhardt host Rockdale Ilinden. Round 11, NPL New South Wales match of the round. And it's a big one. The teams that finished 1 and 2 in season 2023. And they're high up as far as the stakes are concerned in season 2024. It's APIA Leichhardt hosting Rockdale Ilinden. Tony Tanous with you here. A pleasure to have your company across the Football New South Wales YouTube channels. And this one is set to be an absolute blockbuster. When the draw came out, this game was penciled in as one of the highlight matches of season 2024. And with Rockdale sitting in second spot, 4 points ahead of APIA, who come into this in fifth spot. The importance of this, just past a third of the way through the season, can't be underestimated. APIA looking to rebound after a loss last week at home against Sydney United 58. They'll be looking for a big rebound today. Rockdale, well, they're in great form. On the back of 4 straight wins, they come into this round 11 clash with plenty of confidence. And this one is set to be an absolute beauty. So sit back, relax. We've got all the coverage for you this afternoon as we wrap up round 11. We've got the 2 skippers in Alec Urushevsky and Adrian Uchino out there with the referee in Kurt Ams. And we will take a look at the 2 lineups. And for the home side, APIA Leichhardt, Franco Parisi, he makes 2 changes to that side that lost 5-1 in a shock result last week against Sydney United 58. Coming in are Jack Stewart and Rory Jordan. The full lineup in goals is Anthony Bazanis. The back 4, Saya Kambiyashi, Temba Mwatamalo, Josh Simmons and Sean Simmons. The midfield trio, Adrian Uchino, the skipper, alongside Eddie Caspers and Jack Armson. And then it's a front 3 on the flanks are Jack Stewart and Rory Jordan. And leading the line is Ben Gibson. Rockdale coming off that 3-2 victory at home last week against Sydney Olympic. They're forced into a change in goals with Ricardo Rizzo coming in for Harrison Devenish-Mears, who unfortunately is out with concussion this week. The other change is Lockie Griffiths, who comes into a back 4, which looks like this. Braden Sorge on the right, Lockie Griffiths and Matthew Cordier in the centre, Giorgio Esperanza on the left. And then it's a midfield trio, Isaac Dunsel, Dean Pelikanos and Brendan Chalakian, who's in terrific form. And a front 3 of Lockie Constable and Bay Antonio on the flanks. And leading the line is the sharpshooter, the man they call the Baker in Alec Urushevsky. And it will be the away side wearing their alternate white top, black shorts and white socks in Rockdale Ilinden, who kick us off running from right to left. An early aerial challenge here for Temba Mwatamalo. Chalakian just dropping off in the midfield. What form he's been in, as I mentioned in the intro. Some of his best career form, a stalwart of the NPL New South Wales, and he has started season 2024 in some of his career best form. Got himself a goal last week, his 5th of the campaign. Got himself an assist as well. And he leads Rockdale as far as the assist tally is concerned. So his battle against Adrian Uchino, we already saw a coming together there in the centre of midfield, is certainly one to keep an eye out on. 2 of the experienced stalwarts of this competition. And those big team changes for APIA. Jack Stewart with his first start in a few weeks. Came off the bench last week, did Jack Stewart, in that 5-1 loss to Sydney United 58. Suffered. In fact, he got red carded back in round 7 against St George FC. Served a couple of match bans, so back last week, back in the starting 11 today. He'll be positioned, you may have already seen, in the number 7 jersey on the near side. So it's a bit of a new look to the right-hand side for APIA. Perhaps they felt that was an area that might have been an issue for them in that first half last week against Sydney United 58. Saya Kambiyashi, who started on the left-hand side last week against Sydney United. Well, he's moved out to the right-hand side Sean Simmons is playing at left back today. So a couple of personnel changes and a couple of positional changes as well. This highly adaptable side that Franco Parisi runs the rule over. Here's the ball over the top, looking for the run of Armson. Dealt with by a former APIA player in Matthew Cordier. Now in his second season at Rockdale. Here is Lockie Griffiths, who comes into the starting 11 for Rockdale today. One of two changes. A like-for-like swap, Lockie Griffiths, who comes in with Daniel Collins back on the bench this week. So a like-for-like swap there. And Ricardo Rizzo, as I mentioned in the intro, the big news around the goalkeeping situation at Rockdale. Harrison Deveni-Schmies, their number one custodian, suffered a delayed concussion. It was an incident late in the match of the round last week where there was a goal line scramble in the second half. Rockdale managed to clear it off the line, but in that melee of bodies in the box, Deveni-Schmies did cop a knock to the head. Bit of a delayed concussion there, so no risks taken, and we wish Harrison Deveni-Schmies all the best with his recovery. He's out here today, keeping an eye on his teammates, but Ricardo Rizzo is the custodian, the man who gets the job between the sticks. One of their heroes a week and a half ago in the Australia Cup Round 4 match against Manly United, as Apia pitched the ball high here, and Jack Stewart looks to whip this across. Great chance, and it was Caspers who came in and couldn't quite get the connection he would have liked. Terrific delivery, and it was the high pinch there, something Apia do so well. They press hard, they press high, and they did exactly that there. Here is Sean Simmons getting forward. Aim towards Gibson. Now Jack Stewart again on that right-hand side. He looks lively. His first start, as I said, in a number of weeks. Difficult one to be out with a couple of big wins for Apia. One of their key signings at the start of last season. He had a terrific 2023, and he'll be keen to get Apia back to winning ways after last week's big loss to Sydney United 58. First half in which they conceded 4 goals. They were at home, but it was played out at Homebush at Sydney Olympic Park Athletic Centre. They're back here at Leichhardt for the 4th time this season. It has been a great ground for them so far. They've had some terrific victories to start the season here. 3 games played, 3 victories, and 3 big results as well. Kicking things off in round 2 with a 3-1 victory over the Mariners, and then they backed it up with a 4-0 victory over Manly United. And then they also played their local rivals in the Inner West Derby, Sydney Olympic, with a comprehensive 2-0 victory there. So had some great results here. I'll be disappointed to have conceded a home loss last week. No doubt on the back of a big week where they celebrated their 70th anniversary with a lavish affair down the road. In fact, just a few hundred metres away at Les Montages. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese in attendance. Big event. A terrific night. And we have to give a big shout out to their legendary player, now coach in Franco Parisi, who was bestowed a huge honour on Thursday night. His jersey, the legendary number 10 for Apia, was retired. A huge honour as Rockdale get it forward now to Alec Urushevsky, and Muatamalo had it to shut him down. Two of the real standout performers in the National Premier League scene. One the attacker in Urushevsky, the other the defensive rock that is Temba Muatamalo. Here is Lockie Griffiths. So a huge honour chatting to Franco Parisi. He was taken aback. He said he was lost for words, but you can catch up on APIA social media for all of that action. From their big event on Thursday night. So it's been a big week coming off the back of that loss. And they're certainly keen to keep the good vibes going this afternoon. The final game of round 11 of NPL Men's New South Wales. This Caspers has a bit of room and space now, as does Armson. Kambiashi. The idea was right there with Stewart, who couldn't quite connect the return ball. Cut out by Muatamalo. And he's got a bit of time. But he gives it up to Chalakian. Not much space and room in that midfield. One of the more talked about matches of season 2024. As I said, when the draw came out, you penciled this one in as one of the big matches. These two finishing 1 and 2 last year. And they're right up there. They were certainly right up there as far as the favouritism for season 2024 is concerned. And Rockdale coming into this on 23 points, 4 ahead of APIA. They came into this 4 points behind the Western Sydney Wanderers, who lead the competition. Perhaps the big surprise packets. And it looks like they're going to extend their lead at the top, depending on how this one goes today. But the Wanderers currently in action, heading towards full time in their home game against Blacktown City. Another of the big matches. And they currently lead by 3-0. So Andrew Christensen's side look like they're going to march on their winning ways. A remarkable start to their season. So the importance of this one for APIA to try and close the gap to Rockdale to 1 point. If they can pick up the 3 today. And Rockdale wanting to keep the pressure on the Western Sydney Wanderers at the top of the competition. Nice work here from Constable, who drops into the midfield to lend a hand. Now Sorge. Strong hold-up play there from Pelikanos in the midfield. He was excellent last week, along with Isaac Danso in the centre of midfield in that big 3-2 victory over Sydney Olympic. And they come forward now with Giorgio Speranza. He gets it across. Chalakian! And he got that on target. And but for Josh Simmons, Rockdale could have taken the early lead. An important block. He's taken one for the team there, and he stayed down. Josh Simmons, will keep an eye on him in the back play. Hopefully nothing too serious for their stalwart central defender. An important defensive contribution early on in this match. Here is Jordan, looking to feed Gibson. Sharply in there was Cordier. Excellent raid moments ago down the left-hand side. They built it up through the middle. They found Giorgio Speranza open on the left. Over the top here from Chalakian. The lay down from Constable. That time Caspers does well, and Uchino's looking to link now with Stewart. He can't connect with Ben Gibson. And Rockdale have got a sniff about them. The confidence is up, 4 wins in a row coming into this match. Spoken about APIA's big form here at Leichhardt Oval. Well, you've got to tip a hat to Rockdale's away form so far in season 2024. They've had some big results on the road against some big teams with victories. Away to St. George City. Kambiashi just drifting into an offside position as he was fed by Caspers. They also had a big away victory against the Western Sydney Wanderers. a 3-2 back in round 3. And more recently, in round 9, a late winner against their fierce rivals in Sydney United 58, a late injury time winner. Another away victory for Paul D's side. Just shows the form that they are in. And it really speaks to their ambitions in season 2024. And they'll be keen to pick up another big 3 points if they can on the road today. It'll be another massive scalp. So it's really poised, this one. The home form of APIA here at Leichhardt Oval. The away form of Rockdale. Hard to split these two. At Rockdale, perhaps, with the confidence of 4 wins in a row coming into this, perhaps the slight favourites. But APIA have shown how good they are at home, and they'll be keen to bounce back. And it's Armson who's got this early set piece. No score yet in this blockbuster round 11 match of the round as Armson looks to stand this one up towards Moatamalo. The flag is going to go up. Their assistant on the knee side, the experienced Patrick Teleki. One of the best in the business, supporting the experienced Kurt Ams. We've got Ami Hasnani on the far side. As the ball goes over the top, Giorgio Esperanza. Good to see some familiar faces around the NPL scene here at Leichhardt Oval. The great APIA defender in Paul Galimi, an institution here at the club. One of those watching on. This one comes out now. Here is Pelikanos. Just mentioned the match officials today, the assistant referees, also a familiar face in the crowd today, Jun Park. Those of you who follow the NPL New South Wales know Jun Park, one of the great officials. Great to see him out here as an observer today, just watching. He's been out with an injury for the best part of a season. We hope to see him back with a flag in his hand soon enough. Here is Constable, not for the first time this afternoon, just dropping into the midfield, creating that extra number. Pelikanos links it up with him. 2 former Western Sydney Wanderers Academy teammates. Chalakian now, who got a bit of room. We saw his qualities with a strike from long range last week. A stunning goal from the edge of the 18-yard box. His 5th of the campaign, so APIA will have been warned not to give him too much room. Here is Danso, scanning, looking left and right, just making sure he had time and space. 4 3 p.m. kickoffs this afternoon. Keep you posted on those scores. We're approaching full time in a couple of those matches. And there's some tight results. Sydney Olympic currently leading Spirit FC deep into the match by 2-1. And that's a come from behind result if they can hang on to the 3 points. Speaking of come from behind, Sydney United 58 in the big 2-1-7-6 derby against their local rivals in Marconi Stallions. Marconi were leading by 2-0, but it's been a good comeback from Joko Kalatz's side, currently 2-2 into the last 5 minutes of regulation time there. The Wonder, as I mentioned, currently 3-0 up against Blacktown City, another big local derby. And that's a match which featured 2 teams in the top 4. First place Wanderers against 4th place Blacktown City, so a massive result for Andrew Christensen's side as Urushevsky looks to link it up inside to Chalakian, but Uchino was on hand. In the other game, we're into stoppages. It's been a thriller as well down in Wollongong, where the home side were 2-0 up. Sydney FC bounced back to make it 2-2, but Wollongong have hit the lead through Banri Kane's Yumi. We're into stoppage time there. Wollongong up 3-2. I'll definitely keep you posted on the final results across the grounds. Let you know about what took place last night with 3 games to kick off round 11 of the NPL Men's New South Wales. Here's Gibson. New signing this year, joining from the Sydney FC Academy. Stewart couldn't quite get Armson in behind. That's comfortable for Josh Simmons, who's made perhaps the most important intervention defensively so far. Terrific defensive block to deny Chalakian. Well, it would have been back-to-back goals. Here is Mwatamalo. Caspers, his pass was cut out by Cordier, who does love to come out of defence. And he was blocked off there by Sean Simmons. It looks like the referee has pulled out a yellow card to Josh Simmons. And he was gesturing that there might have been some pushing there. So it might have been the initial foul which caught the attention of Kurt Ames. And Josh Simmons goes into the book. First player booked in this big Round 11 blockbuster. Thanks for your company on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Tony Tanous with you here at Leichhardt Oval as we wrap up Round 11 of the NPL Men's New South Wales. Cordier, we've seen that throughout season 2024, playing in the new role as left centre back alongside Lockie Griffiths today. We've been used to seeing him out on the left in recent seasons, whether for APIA, Sydney Olympic, or even last season for Rockdale. Of course, Giorgio Speranza moving to Rockdale. In the off-season. So that's meant that Cordier slipped across one position into the centre of defence alongside either Daniel Collins or Lockie Griffiths. Here's Sorge, sharing it around the back 4. Cordier not quite on the same wavelength there. Speranza and Antonio. We do have a full-time result for you, the first of the afternoon, and it comes from Wollongong, where David Carney's side managed to find a late winner through Banri Kanazumi after Sydney FC fought back with a double from Mitch Glasson. Nice work down the right from Sorge, and then Pelikanos able to double up on Rory Jordan. Into stoppages around the grounds. The Wanderers look like they're going to extend their lead and hit the 30-point mark at the 11 rounds into the season. That's some return from Andrew Christensen's team. And they're keeping the pressure on everyone at the top of the NPL New South Wales. But we're deep in stoppages elsewhere as the final whistle does go over at the Wanderers Academy. Just repeating, Western Sydney 3, Blacktown City 0. Another massive result with a double to Nathaniel Blair. But here the attention is on the Rockdale corner. He's got a couple of options. He goes knee post, and it was important that Sean Simmons was there at the back post because the flick on from his brother Josh might have favoured Rockdale at one point. Now Sean can look to hit it down the line. Cut out by Sorge. He gives it up. Uchino can play it forward. Jack Stewart, this is what he loves, the counter-attack. And he can go one-on-one. Looks to slide it across. Great ball. Here's Gibson, and he buries it. And APIA take the lead. A ruthless counter-attack. With Gibson scoring his 6th of the season after being fed by a lovely delivery from Jack Stewart, who's back in the starting 11 today and back with an assist. And APIA show their ruthlessness in transition. Rockdale pushed up for the set piece, and APIA were only too happy to exploit them. It was Uchino who fed Stewart
APIA Leichhardt.
and Gibson.
APIA Leichhardt 1.
Who's been in terrific form here at Leichhardt Oval this season. Has got another one. He's added another one to the list. The composed finish. He got the ball inside the box. He kept his calm. He picked his spot and he put it past Rizzo. And APIA have got off to the perfect start here. The midway point of the first half, and Urushevsky was looking to hit back immediately, and that was a crucial challenge from the experienced Josh Simmons. He got a foot in as Urushevsky was about to unleash. Sharpshooter. There's the Rockdale Ilinden skipper. He'll be looking to get back on the scorer sheet this afternoon. A rare match last week where he didn't get on the score sheet. 3-2 victory. Goals coming from Braden Sorge, and then Chalaki and Lockie Constable. Urushevsky after scoring in 8 weeks in a row. Between rounds 2 and rounds 9. He had a couple of chances but couldn't quite find the back of the net. So he'll be keen to get back to scoring ways this afternoon at Leichhardt Oval. Just a little bit too aggressive there on the press. Chino Caspers in the midfield along with Sean Simmons. So we do have full time also at Belmore, where Sydney Olympic have come from behind for a 2-1 victory against 10-man Spirit FC. Parkhouse and O'Donovan with the late goals. And there's a strong challenge there from Stewart. And he's going to join Josh Simmons in the book. That late challenge on Matthew Cordier. Crowd not pleased with that one. Cordier just getting some treatment, so some big results around the grounds, and looks like a late dramatic comeback from Sydney United 58 in that big 2-1-7-6 derby. They trailed by 2-0 at half time. And what a response it's been from the hour mark onwards. They're in stoppages there and they currently lead by 3-2. The stoppage time winner, it looks like, from Carlos de Oliveira. And after that big win last week against APIA, Sydney United 58 looking to move up to 20 points with a big comeback against their local rivals in Marconi. We will confirm the final score at the Sydney United Sports Centre. Marlow goes long. Rocky Griffiths is in sharp. It has been a contest, this one, which APIA have edged in the last couple of seasons. They won both matches between these two sides last year. In fact, we featured both these contests last year in Match of the Round, and the first one, which was at Lambert Park in round 2, a 6-0 victory, a massive victory to APIA. And then it was a tight affair over at Rockdale in the second half of the season, which APIA also won by 2-1. We have to go back to the first half of 2022 to find the last time Rockdale had the edge over APIA. So they've won their last 3 in this contest, APIA. Prior to that, Rockdale had won the previous 4, so we have seen some momentum shift Always a big contest when these two sides meet. And they've got the perfect start, a clinical finish. If you're just joining us, Tony Tanous with you here at Leichhardt Oval. It was Ben Gibson. A wonderful finish after an excellent delivery from Jack Stewart. Great counter-attack from the home side. Sees them 1-0 up. Here is Stewart, who just loses his footing. And it gives Antonio the space, but well cut out by the skipper in Uccino. We now have full time around the grounds. We'll recap those scores as Apia looked to get him behind. This time Ricardo Rizzo was out sharply. With a couple of big late dramatic comebacks on a bumper Super Sunday of NPL Men's New South Wales. Sydney Olympic with a comeback against Spirit FC. It took the lead. Olympic bouncing back for a 2-1 victory. Sydney United trailed 2-0 at one point to their local rivals Marconi, but have come back for a 3-2 win. The Wanderers, who led all the way against local rivals Blacktown City for another big win. 3-0 the final score. And the Wollongong Wolves, who at one point led by 2-0. Sydney FC came back to make it 2-2. Only for a late dramatic winner, Banri Kanezumi. So plenty of goals, plenty of action, plenty of drama, as we've come to expect across the NPL Men's New South Wales competition. Every week the plot thickens, the storyline, the narratives. And today's certainly been a special one across the scene. You can now sit back and enjoy the rest of this one. As Rockdale look to hit back, they've got a set piece. Shown plenty of fortitude this year to come from behind on a couple of occasions. That time the delivery from Antonio. Too comfortable for the keeper in Anthony Buzanis. He and his back four, no doubt. A message from Franco Parisi and David DePuzzo. Club that last season prided itself on the number of clean sheets. I'll be disappointed to have conceded 17 in the opening 10 rounds of the season. And you break it down. 2 of their 3 losses have featured big score lines against the opening round against Blacktown, where they conceded 6. Last week, Sydney United 58, where they conceded 5. So 11 of the 17 goals they have conceded came in 2 matches. Appeals there from Apia, but the referee happy to wave play on. And Stewart looks across. Great vision there. And it's going to fall to Gibson, who took the snapshot on the left foot. Still alive here through Rory Jordan, who made an impact off the bench last week against Sydney United 58. Gets his start today. Slides it in now to Sean Simmons. Across to Gibson, who lays it across to Stewart. He returns the favour. And Apia make it 2-0. A terrific bit of composure in the box. The favour return. This time, Gibson laying it on a plate to Jack Stewart. And he scores his 5th of the campaign. Back in the starting 11 and back on the score sheet is Jack Stewart. And Apia are certainly in the ascendancy in this first half. An excellent bit of work down the left-hand side, involving Rory Jordan and Sean Simmons. Gibson had acres in the 18-yard box, but he was being shut down and he spotted Jack Stewart. Great peripheral vision there. And Stewart was calm and composed. And the home side lead this by 2-0. Here's Cordier carrying it forward again. Apia alive to it. No advantage though, and it is going to be a free kick. Those of you joining us just in time to see that Apia goal, the second We saw the first one with Jack Stewart laying it on a plate to Gibson. This time, the favour was returned. Gibson feeding Stewart. And they're building quite the combination in this first half at Leichhardt Oval. Gibson scoring his 6th of the campaign. Stewart now his 5th. Pelikanos. Now Chalakian. Coming into this with so much confidence, but it's been rocked in the early part of the match. In fact, when you assessed the second half last week and the finish by Sydney Olympic, they created many chances. And Stewart comes forward again, moving one way and the other. And now Gibson. Ricardo Rizzo was sharp off his line. The flag went up in any case, so Gibson straight into an offside position. Just holding his left ankle. And goals continue to rain in NPL. Men's New South Wales, we've had a bumper Super Sunday. 4 simultaneous matches kicking off at 3 p.m. Some big come from behind wins. Some big results. And now Urushevsky's in behind, and he's got a chance to get Rockdale back in it. He couldn't quite link it up with Antonio as Moatamalo and Josh Simmons, the experienced duo, recovered quickly in defence. Here's Armson. Well cut out by Dunsel. Now Constable. Waitamalo taking no risk. It is going to be a corner. Early delivery. APIA have been able to silence the travelling contingent of Rockdale fans who were in full voice at the start of the match. They're trying to spur their team on as Lockie Griffiths comes forward. Team Pelikanos at the near post, and he was the target. Couldn't quite get the cushion on the header. And now APIA, who've been ruthless on the counter-attack already. Cambiashi was the player looking to make the run. Giorgio Speranza feeds Chalakian. His confidence is up. Took that in his stride. Pelikanos can turn. Nice bit of link-up play. Player who's really relishing the style of play at Rockdale. That time diving in. And the referee seeing that. No advantage for APIA, so the free kick won by Adrian Uccino. And Rockdale having a bit of work to do. In fact, it looks like they're going to make a substitution here in the first half. And Yinka Sunmola, the player, getting readied. Not sure if we've seen anything as far as injuries are concerned. We'll keep an eye on things, but just looking down at the sideline, the number 15, Yinka Sunmola, one of their new signings this season. He's going to come on just past the 35-minute mark. Wonder if that's something tactical that Paul D and Nick Stavroulakis have seen. And it is going to be Bay Antonio, so a straight swap here.
Rockdale Ilinden coming on, number 15.
And we're going to see a little bit of an adjustment here with Constable moving out to the left-hand side. And Yinka Sunmola.
Number 9, Bay Antonio.
Perhaps something they've seen on that far side. They want to give Sean Simmons a little bit more to do from a defensive sense. So Constable's moved out to the left. Sunmola. Can he make an immediate impact? Here he is looking to take on Sean Simmons, the player who has been around the A-League Academy systems. As Jordan now feeds Stewart. This has been a productive route for APIA, and Stewart, who's already scored with the left foot this afternoon. Here he is looking to slide it in behind, waited for the run of Armson. Sorge had to time that tackle perfectly as Jordan was looking to slip in behind. He's Caspers, they're still alive, and it was an important intervention there. Cordier cutting it out at the near post as Gibson was sniffing around waiting for a poached goal. Excellent work again from Rory Jordan. Jack Stewart looking ever so lively in counter-attack, and APIA looking for their third goal of the half. We saw them score 4 in the corresponding match last season in the opening half. This time it's Rockdale with the opportunity to counter-attack themselves, and they've slipped it in behind. Chalakian's got Urushevsky available. He holds it up, and now he finds Urushevsky, and he forces the save. A terrific counter-attack this time from Rockdale Ilinden, with Yinka Sunmola and Chalakian teeing up Urushevsky, who comes into this match only 3 behind Rockdale's all-time top scorer. And that was an important piece of keeping there from Ricardo Rizzo. A great sparse there, Nedovsky, Rockdale legend with 132 goals for the club. Alek Urushevsky only 3 behind. 129 is his total. So he'll be hoping to add to that tally today. Strong work there from Stewart. This time though, he and Uchino get in each other's way. Stewart has to clear, only as far as Dunsall. He finds the fresh man again in Sunmola. Strong, experienced work there, using his body and intelligence. Sean Simmons. What a stalwart he's been, not only for APIA, but across the NPL, New South Wales, a former Player of the Year recipient. Premiership winner, championship winner, Waratah Cup winner as well. He's won it all, Sean Simmons. And his battle with Yinka Sunmola after that move by Paul D. Certainly one to watch. Here is Lockie Griffiths. Now Pelikanos. Sunmola. If you're just joining us. Wonderful first half from the home side. They've taken a 2-0 lead into the final 5 minutes of this half. Now it's Rockdale with Constable, and it's a wonderful strike. Lockie Constable, for the second week in a row, scores a screamer from outside the box. He shaped that around Anthony Buzanis, and Rockdale are right back in it now. A terrific strike there. No sooner had he shifted from the right to the left. Playing on the left-hand side of the attack. The right footer who's played inverted there. He's ducked inside. He's picked his spot and he's put it past Buzanis. And the score's now 2-1. Constable, after scoring his first of the season last week, has got 2 in 2 weeks. And Rockdale are right back in it. We promised you a humdinger here at Leichhardt Oval, and that's developing into a classic in this first half. Two teams that love to play proactive, attacking football with the ball. The focus, certainly putting on a show now. They've made the adjustment. It's paid immediate rewards with Constable moving out to the left-hand side. Sunmola on the right-hand side. And whatever they've seen has worked a treat as Constable looks to slide that one in behind. And Urushevsky who loves to play off the shoulder of the final defender. Almost profiting there. Here he is, putting his body in front of Moatamalo. Strong work from Dunsall. Well read by Josh Simmons. Sorges forward. He scored a screamer last week. That time he was looking to put it on a plate for Sunmola. And suddenly Rockdale have the bit between their teeth. They've halved the deficit. And they're on the front foot there. APIA going to counter-attack again through Stewart. And it did come off the referee, so we know the rule now. Any touch off the referee, and it is going to be a bounce ball. APIA did have possession, so we can carry on. Out on that left is Sean Simmons. Looks to go past Sunmola. Excellent work. He was asking why there was no one attacking that terrific delivery. Played it into a dangerous area in the 6-yard box. No one quite attacking that. They've got a corner. 1.5 minutes left before we go into stoppages. It's been a bumper Super Sunday across the NPL Men's New South Wales, and this one is living up to the hype. The first half of this round 11 match of the round, and APIA had a player available in Sean Simmons at the back post as Jack Stewart turns and fires straight at the keeper. Great opportunity. It's almost a free header there for Sean Simmons. Couldn't quite get the connection he would have liked off that Armson delivery. And then Stewart, who's already got himself an assist and a goal. Almost doubled his tally. Nice feed into the feet of Armson. Quickly shutting him down. It was Dunsall. Been spoiled across our matches of the round in season 2024. Plenty of goals, plenty of attacking quality. And this first half has certainly lived up to that billing as Buzanis feeds Josh Simmons. So cultured on the ball, but he gives it up this time to Constable. Constable looks to slide it back in behind for Speranza, who looks for the first time delivery. No hesitation there from Moatamalo. First time clearance. Nice bit of link-up play. Constable again looking sharp. Urushevsky was sliding in. But credit to Anthony Buzanis, who was sharp off his line. And our assistant referee in James Macris shows the board, which indicates 2 minutes of additional time. Hasn't been too many stoppages. It's been a flowing match. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching around the world, wherever you're watching around Australia, on the Football in New South Wales YouTube channel, where we feature every match of the men's top flight, the women's top flight, and a match of the round in Football New South Wales League One for both the men and women. Every week, a smorgasbord of football.
Come on, Jackie, every time!
Here is Armson. He's got Jordan. He was looking to play it in behind quickly, and the appeals went up for handball. Referee, though, Arms was on the spot, said play on. It's hot in the midfield at the moment as we tick towards the end of stoppages in this first half. Is there time for another chance here as APIA? It was Stewart on that left foot. It's been so productive so far. An assist and a goal. He's relishing being back in the starting 11. His speed has been a real handful for Rockdale in this first period. Just happy to keep a bit of possession here. Saya Kambiashi down the line to Stewart. He can go against Giorgio Speranza. Here is Caspers. Is he going to try his luck? Lays it instead to Jordan. Stewart with another chance to involve or influence the attack. It's the last touch of what has been an absorbing first half, end-to-end action, and attacking showcase of the NPL men's New South Wales. And APIA take a 2-1 lead into the break. They did at one point lead by 2-0. The goals coming from Gibson and Stewart. But Rockdale, to their credit, Lockie Constable was able to bounce back in the final 5 minutes and halve the deficit. And the two teams are going to go into their break, and Franco Parisi and Paul D are going to have the opportunity to speak to their respective sides. And the second 45 promises to be an absolute classic. Make sure you stick around to the Football New South Wales YouTube channel at the break. It's APIA 2, Rockdale 1. Round 11, NPL New South Wales match of the round. And it's a big one. The teams that finished 1 and 2 in season 2023, and they're high up as far as the stakes are concerned in season 2024. It's APIA Leichhardt hosting Rockdale Ilinden. Tony Tanous with you here. A pleasure to have your company across the Football New South Wales YouTube channels. And this one is set to be an absolute blockbuster. When the draw came out, this game was penciled in as one of the highlight matches of season 2024. And with Rockdale sitting in second spot, 4 points ahead of APIA, who come into this in fifth spot. The importance of this. Depending on how this one goes today, but the Wanderers currently in action, heading towards full time in their home game against Blacktown City. Another of the big matches, and they currently lead by 3-0. Jordan looking to feed Gibson. Sharply in there was Courtier. Excellent raid moments ago down the And it is a welcome back to Leichhardt Oval, this round 11 NPL Men's New South Wales match of the round. And if you're just joining us, Tony Tanous with you here, live and exclusive on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. It's been a terrific first half, and the home side, who certainly were in the ascendancy for large parts. They took a 2-0 lead with goals from Ben Gibson on 22 minutes and Jack Stewart on 31 minutes. But Rockdale, they were able to hit back with a goal from Lockie Constable on 41 minutes. And APIA, who are running from right to left in their traditional home strip, lead this by 2-1. Sit back, relax. All the action is finished across our NPL Men's New South Wales scene for round 11. This is the last action of what's been a terrific Super Sunday. Some big results, some terrific goals. And you might have seen a excellent winner from Carlos de Oliveira as Rory Jordan looks to get him behind here, and he extends APIA's lead early in this second half. A terrific finish, putting it past the keeper in Ricardo Rizzo. And Rory Jordan gets his second of the season and restores the 2-goal buffer for APIA Leichhardt. What a start to this second half. They will have been disappointed to have conceded in the final 5 minutes of the opening period. But they've started this second half exactly as they would have wanted. And they've got their 2-goal buffer again. Rory Jordan back in the starting 11 today and back on the score sheet. In fact, the two players that come into the 11 in Jack Stewart and Rory Jordan have both been influential for the home side. Stewart with the opening goal assist for Ben Gibson, and then he got a goal himself as Chilakian looks to get in behind. Well covered by Josh Simmons. Stewart got the assist for Gibson, the goal himself. Now Jordan has got himself a goal. Here's Rockdale looking to hit back immediately. You sense the goals aren't finished here to high-scoring sides. In fact, when we look at the start of the round, we had the team with the third best attack in APIA. 26 goals for the season ahead of this round. And Rockdale, they're the fourth best with 25 ahead of this round. And they've got the corner here. Dangerous area. Good clearance by the man who's just extended APIA's lead. And Jordan. Bazanis was trying to launch that one quickly. It's been a real avenue for APIA. They've been very efficient in counter-attack. Here's Armson. Now Stewart. So influential and productive in the first period. Here comes Josh Simmons. Nice little give and go with Caspers, who's going to chase this one and put the pressure on Griffiths. He uses his body well. Only seconds into the second period. And Rory Jordan has extended APIA's lead back out to a 2-goal margin. We saw one change in the opening period. It was Yinka Sunmola coming on for Bay Antonio. Paid immediate dividends with Constable, who'd moved flanks. Finding Rockdale's only goal so far. We'll take you through the other substitutes. At the disposal of Franco Parisi and Paul D. APIA's bench, expect to see some of these guys come on in the second half, but Alex Parks between the sticks is the reserve keeper. And then number 8, Nick O'Sullivan. Number 41, Nick Atzoni. Number 17, one of the stars of the season in Jordan Segreto. Having to make do with a spot on the bench today. Already seen him have big impact off the bench in season 2024. The other two outfield players at Franco Parisi's disposal are Dakota Askew and Luigi De Troia, the striker. His first season after making the move from Adelaide. As for Paul D, we've already seen, as I said, one of the substitutes come on in Sunmola. The other players available to him, the reserve keeper is Ronan Mulgrew. And then the other outfield players, Daniel Collins, Blake Grasciuto, So Kataoka, and Hunter Elliott. They're the two respective benches. Can Rockdale do what Sydney Olympic and Sydney United have done across our grounds this afternoon with big come from behind victories? Still plenty of time. Expect the chances to pop up. So far they've been able to keep Alec Urushevsky quiet. They're on the front foot here again, trying to exploit the space in the wide areas through Jack Stewart. Solid defensive work from Giorgio Speranza. Great to see his brother Roberto back in action again today. After getting 45 minutes in the under-20s, he's been out for 11 months with a ACL reconstruction. Today he played in the under-20s and he got through a full 90 minutes in a big 2-0 victory for Rockdale over APIA. So great to see Roberto back on the pitch. And he'll only add to the strength of this squad. Nice work here. Pelikanos linking it up with Sunmola. He uses his speed and he's going to try and test Sean Simmons, who used his body well. Helping out his brother and Josh. Lovely work here. Caspers. That was terrific. And then they're coming together with Pelikanos. Excellent technique there from Eddie Caspers. New recruit this year. He's joined from the Bulls Academy. Bit of a like-for-like swap for a player who really caught the eye in season 2023, and Fabian Monge, one of the standout performers who earned himself the opportunity to step up to the A-League at Melbourne Victory. Caspers is making a real fist of it in the centre of midfield as we see Giorgio Esperanza go into the book there for a solid challenge on that far side. Player just getting back up onto his haunches is Temba Moatamalo. Bumper Super Sunday of 5 fixtures. We had 3 last night to kick off the round. I'll take you through those results. Speaking of come from behind victories, Manly doing the job at Sutherland as Jordan looks to slip in behind again. Important challenge there, not once but twice from Lockie Griffiths. So Manly with a 2-1 victory over Sutherland last night at Seymour Shaw to kick things off in the round. And then over at Rockdale it was St George FC who got a 1-0 victory over Hills United. It's Armson loves to angle these corners. This time towards Moatamalo, who went up against Griffiths. St George with a 1-0 victory at home. Jane Talcheski's side starting to really feel more comfortable in the top flight. Nikola Skataric has had a terrific start to life at St George FC. Scored from the penalty spot in the opening half. And speaking of St George, their crosstown rivals, St George City, a great victory for them to send them up to 17 points. One of the teams that was fancied in the pre-season. It's been an up and down start to season 2024. They got a crucial 3 points at home against the Central Coast Mariners Academy side. The goals coming from a couple of sprightly attackers in Presley Ortiz and Paolo Mitri off the bench. Great to see that late impact, and great to see both those youngsters on the score sheet. Ortiz, who made such an impression in season 2023. It's been a bit of a drier run so far in season 2024, but that will have pleased Mirko Uriel, no doubt. An important 3 points for St George City. So a couple of big results for the two St George sides. You might have seen the news around one of the St George sides during the week. They'll be using the new facility at Barton Park. And we're really looking forward to that in a couple of weeks. They host Sydney United 58. If you haven't caught up with that story, make sure you jump on our NPL New South Wales Facebook page. Great facility. That looks like a terrific, and there's so much history, of course. The former St George Budapest, one of the giants of the NSL. In fact, their match will be against Sydney Olympic And that does hark back to those mid-80s where there were some absolute classics. Olympic using the old St. George Stadium, that area, that facility, back in some of the glory days of the National Soccer League. So mark that one down in your calendar. The opening of Barton Park, St. George FC versus Sydney Olympic. Read all about it on our NPL New South Wales socials as Rockdale look to hit back here. Forward it goes from Jordan. The chase is on. Look at the speed here from Gibson. Gets to it ahead of Griffiths. Gibson! And he's not far away from extending the lead even further. Showed some great speed to get to it ahead of Griffiths. Showed plenty of composure and quality inside the box, relishing the opportunity to get plenty of game time under the tutelage of Franco Parisi. If you are just joining us, that news from early in the half, of course, big anniversary celebration during the week for this famous club, APIA, one of the former NSL giants. A lavish affair with the Prime Minister on hand. And a big occasion for one of their all-time legends in Franco Parisi. 17 years as a senior player between the seasons 2007 and 2022. They retired his number 10 jersey. So a great tribute, a fitting honour. Now he stepped into the dugout. He won a premiership as a coach in his first season. He's looking to back it up in season 2024. They know that if they can pick up the 3 points today, they'll move 1 point behind Rockdale. Big game to come next week as well against the Western Sydney Wanderers. That's a huge one to look forward to in round 12 as Kurt Ams is going to bring it back. He's adjudged that it was a foul against Stewart, who is already on a yellow card. No indication there of a concern about another yellow, but the challenge on the same player. And Matthew Cordier, that's the same player where he did get the yellow card for that challenge in the first half. Here is Dunsel. Lovely touch from Sunmola, Urushevsky, and it was a wonderful save from Buzanas, who stood up strong. And the angle on the follow-up was too difficult for Alek Urushevsky. Here is Sunmola, stands it up. Urushevsky with the header, and now it's Chalakian, and his overhead bicycle isn't too far away. Excellent work there from Rockdale. Couple of good chances. Sunmola's touches were right on point. The touch to get it in behind for Urushevsky, who's disappointed. He's a player who prides himself on hitting the back of the net with an efficiency of chances. As I said, he's not too far away from becoming the all-time Rockdale top scorer. And Rockdale, having made one change in the first half, looks like they're about to almost empty their bench. They've got 3 players getting readied early in this second half at the hour mark. And they're going to bring on Hunter Elliott, they're going to bring on Daniel Collins, and they're also going to bring on Blake Rashudo. So that chance, the last involvement for Chalakian. Danso, Chalakian are 2 of those players that come off. As Hunter Elliott comes on at right back. Looks like Braden Sorge, the other player that's made way. So a like-for-like swap at right back. It's been a more difficult night for the Rockdale back 4. APIA have had a game plan which, a sense, has been much around the transition. The speed of Jordan, the speed of Jack Stewart. Has really asked questions of Rockdale's back four. And Paul D, with half an hour to go, has brought on Hunter Elliott for Sorge. He's moved Courtier into more of an attacking role on the left side of Rockdale's attack. So that means that Constable's moved into the number 10 role in behind Urushevsky. Sunmola on the right. And Daniel Collins has slipped in to the centre of defence alongside Lockie Griffiths. So they're the adjustments from Paul D. He does have such a flexible squad. And that's evident with the use of Matthew Courtier as a left centre back initially and now as a left attacker in that number 11 role. Sean Simmons is back up on his feet so far. APIA have resisted the urge to go to their bench, but you sense it won't be too far away. Franco Parisi happy with what he's seen so far. Nice run this from Speranza. And now Rusciuto, one of those fresh players who's come on in the centre of midfield alongside Pelikanos and Constable. Here is Griffiths going past one, a second. Couldn't quite link it up. Rusciuto with the flick on. Both these sides continue their runs in the Australia Cup preliminary rounds, both having victories in round 4. APIA, you would have seen, no doubt, the 19-1 victory over Hazelbrook from the Blue Mountains. Here at Leichhardt Oval. Well, they've drawn another local association club as they try their luck from long range. Jack Stewart couldn't get that one on target. APIA are going to go to their bench now. Jordan Segreto, who's been a star performer so far in season 2024, having to make do with a spot on the bench today. It looks like Rory Jordan will come off. Segreto will move into the right attacking role in that number 7 role. And Jack Stewart will shift over to the left-hand side into the number 10 role. So a terrific shift from the number 11 in Rory Jordan. A goal for him. Big 65 minutes. But APIA will be in action, as I said, midweek back here at Leichhardt Oval. Australia Cup Round 5 action against Berkeley Vale. Team from the Central Coast, coached by a former National Soccer League legend. Played a bit of A-League as well in Andre Gumprecht. Great to see him still involved in a coaching sense. So he'll be leading out the Berkeley Vale side against APIA midweek. As for Rockdale, they've got a tough one against neighbours Harcoa from the Football New South Wales League 1. Harcoa starting to get on a bit of a run in Football New South Wales League 1. They had a terrific win this weekend. So that's a big one after a tight affair that went all the way to penalties and extra time and penalties against Manly United in round 4. We've got another difficult opponent. The games are starting to pile up as Griffiths saw the space in front of him. And why not try your luck? We saw them score some absolute screamers last week. 3 worldies from Sorge, Chalakian and Constable. We saw Constable score a wonderful goal in the opening half today. This is just the tonic that APIA would have wanted after their big 70th anniversary bash midweek. That big loss to Sydney United, that result that really shocked APIA, particularly that first half. Sydney United show their continued improvement, their rebuild under Željko Kalac this season. If you're just catching up on the earlier action, terrific come from behind victory. Marconi were Indian ascendancy. James Temelkovsky back on the score sheet for them. They looked like they were going to come away with the biscuits, the 3 points against their neighbours in Sydney United 58, but they had other ideas in the atmosphere at the King Tom as they mounted that second half comeback. Make sure you catch up on that, check out the highlights. What about the Western Sydney Wanderers? Andrew Christensen's side continue to go from strength to strength. An unbelievable pre-season from them. They hit the ground running, and 11 rounds into the season, they've already accumulated 30 points, 10 wins, and 1 loss. Their only loss coming against Blacktown City back in the early part of the season. Sorry, not against Blacktown City. That was who they played today. That was quite the performance, and had Will Gotsis behind the mic. Nathaniel Blair scored a double in the first half, and the Wanderers sealing a 3-0 victory. So make sure you catch up. All the match reports, of course, our reporters around the grounds. The highlights will be up soon. Or you can catch full replays via the live tab on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel, exactly where you're watching this match. All the matches available via replay. For the highlights, hit the video tab. We'll catch them on our socials. Of course, the Wanderers' only loss for the season did come against Rockdale. Mentioned Rockdale's away form this season and their big wins. They've been terrific on the road, something they've obviously spoken about. Their home form last year was excellent. Perhaps felt that the away form might have let them down at times. And they've had some big wins. St. George City was one of those earlier in the season. That victory in round 3 against the Western Sydney Wanderers, 3-2. And that big round 9 victory late on with Hunter Elliott popping up from a Giorgio Speranza assist to win it by 2-1. They would have come here hoping for another big scalp. With 20 minutes remaining, they trail by 3-1. Here they are, Elliott, who moved across from Manly United in the off-season. Can he find his second goal of the season, or at least contribute in an attacking sense? That time Collins couldn't connect with Courtier. And APIA are going to make a couple more changes here. Dakota Askew's getting ready, as is Nick Sullivan. Just keep an eye on the players to make way. Josh Simmons is going to be one of those. So we might see a bit of an adjustment in the centre of defence. Dakota Askew, who can play there, can also play as a fullback. That's the end of the shift for Josh Simmons. We've got a yellow card early in the half, but early in the first half, but a couple of terrific defensive blocks. A job that he and Mwatamalo have done in the main on the competition's leading marksman in Alek Urushevsky has been terrific so far, but they've got to make sure they stick to their job as Urushevsky slides in behind, and just as you say that they've kept him quiet. Urushevsky pops up with his 10th goal of the season and brings the deficit back to a 1 goal. He is such a sharp shooter in Alek Urushevsky. He didn't get on the score sheet last week, but he's back to his usual ways, and that was as sharp as you can be. No sooner had Josh Simmons come off, Urushevsky sneaks in behind, and suddenly it's game back on here at Leichhardt Oval. We expected more goals in the second half, and now APIA's lead is back to 1 goal. 3-2 it is. Terrific finish there, slotting it under the keeper in Buzanis. And he goes closer to the great Spase Nadovsky, becoming the all-time top scorer for Rockdale Ilinden. That seems a bit of a fait accompli. It's only a matter of when. The great Alek Urushevsky goes to double figures for season 2024 after scoring 27 last year and finishing up at the Golden Boot and Player of the Year award. That was as sharp as you can be. APIA switching off momentarily and they were punished quickly. Here's Stewart now. That was an important defensive contribution from both Griffiths and Hunter Elliott. Now Pelikanos. He looks for the diagonal switch. Urushevsky, who loves to peel into the wide areas. He's dragged Moatamalo out of the centre of defence. And now might they be able to exploit the space all the way through to Sun Mola. Good work from Sean Simmons just to hold him up. It's been a ding-dong battle since Sun Mola's come on. Seen some terrific comebacks this afternoon. Here's Collins feeding Urushevsky again out on that left-hand side. Speranza with the run forward. And that was clever play from Kambiashi. Able to shield that one over the byline. And suddenly, this game has really come to life. Rockdale have made their changes. They've almost emptied their bench. 3 at the hour mark, 3 changes. But it's the trusty marksman in Alek Urushevsky. He brings it back to 3-2. Uchino. The keeper in Rizzo had to come off his line. I want to make sure they're solid defensively from here. Rockdale. No Devenish Mees today. Keeper out with concussion. Suffered late in the match last week. If you're missing the news from earlier, a bit of a delayed concussion. We wish him the best. Good to see him out here today. Sean Simmons, upend Sun Mola. Referee just giving him a warning. It's going to be a free kick. Chance to send a couple of the central defenders forward. And Daniel Collins, a fresh central defender who does pose an aerial threat. Pelikanos is in there. Blake Rashudo. Now Lockie Griffiths joining as well. Sun Mola in there as well. Constable's over this dead ball. Can he find a colleague? He goes short with the variation. Constable linking with Urushevsky, and Kaspers coming out sharply to deny the crossing opportunity. Into the final 15 minutes. We've got a grandstand finish for you here at Leichhardt Oval. Terrific crowd, great atmosphere. Now Pelikanos looks to slide it in behind. Uchino clearing for APIA. That time, Gibson doing the defensive work, leading from the front with the press. And Rockdale are going to make their final change. And it is going to be the Japanese import. Who comes on for Lockie Griffiths. So, Kataoka. So let's see the adjustment. Maybe an attacking change for Rockdale. Sacrificing a defender. Or we might see Pelikanos play a little bit deeper. That time Pelikanos using his hand. And he's gone into the book. Still plenty of time for the visitors, Rockdale. As I said, they've had a real strong mentality away from home. There's strong work from Courtier and Urushevsky. He spotted the keeper off his line. And he tried his luck from about 35, 40 metres out. Decent effort, but Buzanis was backtracking. It was good work from Mathieu Courtier, pinching the ball, getting to it ahead of Uccino in the midfield. And it looks like David DePuzzo just having a few words with a couple more substitutes. Nicazzoni and Luigi De Troia. I just saw that challenge on the skipper in Uccino, and he has gone down. So he'll get some treatment, and he might be one of the players that comes off, which would be a like-for-like swap. And there's going to be a like-for-like swap up top with De Troia coming on, the experienced striker who signed this season from Campbelltown in the South Australian National Premier League. He comes on for Ben Gibson. What a terrific shift from the striker. A goal to add to his tally for the season, taking him to 6 for the campaign, and he added an assist as well, his third assist of the campaign, laying it on a plate for Jack Stewart. So De Troia up front, and Atzoni on for Adrian Uccino, the skipper. So a couple of fresh players in Nick Sullivan and Atzoni, along with Caspers now in the midfield. De Troia leading the line. And on the flank, Segreto and Stewart. That's the shape for Apia, with Dakota Askew alongside Muatamalo in the centre of defence. Approaching the final 10 minutes. We've seen late drama around the grounds today. Sydney FC almost mounted a terrific comeback down in Wollongong, but the Wolves were able to pick up a late goal through Benri Kanazumi for their 3 points. Sydney United at King Tom. The atmosphere there would have been rocking in the second half, as Carlos de Oliveira scored the winner in stoppage time. Rockdale looking to find an equaliser here. Starting to really build the attacking momentum. We saw the start to the match where almost followed the script from Rockdale last week, where they finished defending large parts against Sydney Olympic. This time it's the reverse. They're the team with the attacking momentum later on, but Apia can counter-attack, and they've got De Troia feeding Segreto, who'll be keen to make an impression off the bench. Jordan Segreto has already got 6 for the campaign, and his shot deflected straight into the hands of Ricardo Rizzo. Rockdale, who came into the round having only conceded 13 goals, third best defensive unit in the league, behind only Marconi and Blacktown City coming into the round. They've conceded 3. They'll be keen to make sure there's no more. Here comes Pelikanos, who has dropped a little bit deeper since that change. So, Gataoka coming on. Pelicanos back to Rizzo, who's pressed quickly by Segreto. Good ball out to Giorgio Speranza. Here is Collins. Now Hunter Elliott. As I said, he came up with the dramatic winner only a couple of weeks ago on the road at Adensa Park. There he is giving away a foul on Eddie Caspers. The tension is certainly building in this final 10 minutes. I hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you are watching across Australia, across the world. Live and exclusive, live and free on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel as we are right throughout season 2024. What a first third of the season it's been. Wanderers leading the way, but there's a bevy of teams, perhaps all the favourites, chasing hard. The Rockdale, who came into this in second spot on 23 points. The results elsewhere today mean that they're still in second as things stand. Blacktown City suffering a loss, Marconi suffering a loss. APIA, who started in fifth spot, if they can win today and seal these 3 points, they will move up to a point behind Rockdale. They'll move up to 22. They'll be equal with Marconi and a point ahead of Blacktown City. As the Western Sydney Wanderers continue to set the pace. They might have a 7-point advantage at close of play, around 11. Andrew Christensen and his young team, no doubt sitting back, keeping an eye on progress here as Segreto was it. In fact, it was Luigi De Troia spotting the keeper off his line. This one has certainly lived up to the billing. APIA in the ascendancy in the first half. They took a 2-0 lead just after the half-hour mark with Gibson and Jack Stewart. At Rockdale have shown their attacking prowess so far this season. And they've been able to get back into the game on 2 occasions. They've still got a feel about them. They might create 1 or 2 more moments. With Alec Udushevsky on the pitch. You know this one's not over. Late drama and the NPL Men's New South Wales always go hand in hand. It's been evidenced again on this Sunday afternoon, round 11. Rockdale have got a big week ahead, as I said. Harkoa in the Australia Cup round 5 midweek, and then they host the Wollongong Wolves. Wollongong coming off that 3-2 win today. Next week, over at the Rockdale Ilinden Sports Centre. APIA, meanwhile, have a massive match. Another big week for them. They've got their midweek match against Berkeley Vale. And then next week, they'll be up against the Western Sydney Wanderers, who are 10-1 so far this season. 10 wins, 1 loss, 30 points. Another 3 goals for Andrew Christensen's side. Can you believe that takes their tally up above 40, 41 goals for the season. So really doing it at both ends. And that will be a mouth-watering clash next weekend. There's Speranza. Cordier. He had Cambiashi hot on his tail. Cambiashi was putting the pressure on. Just shows how difficult it is to pick up 3 points. And you think you've got it sealed. The quality across the New South Wales NPL. And the momentum swings. That's been on display in this second half as Rockdale have really come home strong. All hands on deck defensively for APIA. It's Cordier. Does he give away the foul there? You heard the call. Might have come from Muatamalo or Buzanis. The call was no foul, but a late challenge. And Rockdale have another set piece. And they've got Kataoka over the ball. Daniel Collins has come forward. Pelikanos is in there. Can they find the accuracy? And can they find the quality on a set piece? Kataoka steps up. This one's too close to the keeper. They've had a couple of set pieces and they haven't quite been able to produce the quality so far. Paul D will be disappointed with the execution there. As they come out now, Sean Simmons looks to send it down the line. Jack Stewart, who has had a few weeks where he hasn't started, showing a bit of tiredness there. It's been a big shift from him, his first start since being sent off against St George FC in round 7. It's been a few weeks on the sideline, back off the bench last week, and back in the starting 11 with a big influence today. An assist for the opener. He got Apia's second. But right now it's all hands on deck defensively for Franco Parisi's side. As we approach the final minute of regular time. The assistant referee and James Macris, in fact the fourth official, just getting the board readied. We will see that come up shortly. And Rockdale look to press for a late equaliser. It would be a key point on the road. Could be a key point as far as the title's concerned in season 2024. And it's Giorgio Speranza who follows up the effort from Cordier. And it was important that Apia got the block on. Excellent work down the right-hand side. They go short now. Urushevsky looks to get it inside. Muatamalo with the first defensive effort. And Collins too aggressive there. The ball was there to be won, but Collins left a bit in the box and the referee had no choice but to give Apia the free kick. As we do now tick into stoppage time and the board goes up to indicate 5 minutes. We've got 5 minutes of additional time. The assistant referee in James Macris. Plenty of time still for the visitors, Rockdale. The flick on from Stewart. If you're just joining us late for the last minutes of this one, it's been a terrific round 11 NPL Men's New South Wales Match of the Round. Tony Tanous with you here at Leichhardt Oval to round out round 11. Rockdale with some urgency to take this. Robbie Speranza playing ball boy on the near sideline. His brother now, Giorgio, raiding forward. Rockdale scoring their third goal. In fact, it was Apia scoring their third goal on 46 minutes. And since then, it's been Rockdale in the ascendancy. Apia have been happy to drop off and defend in the main. Urushevsky halved the deficit. Forward from Hunter, just about kept that one in. The battle here in midfield. Gataoka under pressure from Sullivan. Can they create something for Alec Urushevsky or one of their other attackers? Sunmola it is. They'll take a goal from anywhere right now. Apia can't believe that's gone against them. The whole bench is up. The drama builds here at Leichhardt Oval. Apia have picked up 3 from 3 here so far in season 2024. They're on the brink of picking up a 4th win. But Rockdale have another set piece. This time they've got Giorgio Speranza with an in-swinger. And yet again, the delivery from Rockdale in this second half from the set piece hasn't quite been on song. Bazanis coming out. Exactly what you want from your keeper. Midway through stoppage time. And Apia might be able to mount a counter-attack of their own. They've been quite limited in the second half. But Stewart strikes from outside! And he's just hit the outside of the netting there. A few of the fans initially thinking he just snuck it inside. But you saw the reaction from Stewart. Only inches past the post. And 3-2 it remains to the home side. So life still for Rockdale. Collins with a missed kick. And Atsoni picks up the loose ball in midfield. And now Segredo can get forward on the counter-attack. He feeds to Troyer. To Troyer, what a turn! And what a save. Credit to Rizzo there. A point-blank save to deny Luigi de Troyer, who showed terrific feet to turn his defender. He was looking for his second of the campaign. Not in any hurry, the home side to take this one. As we do approach the final minute of stoppage time. Segredo, the keeper catches. Rockdale will look to launch this one quickly. Pelikanos plays it down the line. Urushevsky gets involved in the build-up. This is the way Rockdale play. Coming out through the back in the midfield. They'll stick to their principles. These two sides that love to get it down, play positive attacking football. This is lovely now. Urushevsky tried to take it in his stride. Now Constable. They're going to stick to their football here as Constable looks to get it forward now. Referee was on the spot. Hunter Elliott made his way to the edge of the box, but it's the full-time whistle, which sees Apia pick up the 3 points and bounce back after last week's loss. A terrific match of the round contest here that has finished 3-2 in favour of the home side Apia. They were in the ascendancy throughout after scoring the opening 2 goals. But Rockdale, every time, worked their way back into it, and they made a real fist of it. And they asked question after question in the second half. But Apia have picked up the 3 points, which takes them up to 26. And that takes them up to 22 points, 1 point behind Rockdale now. And that's a great bounce back from them after that big 5-1 loss last week against Sydney United 58. The first half laid the platform. The goals from Gibson and Stewart. And each of those players got a terrific assist as well. And then Rory Jordan to kick off the second half made it 3-1 after Lockie Constable got Rockdale back into it on 41 minutes. And then Alec Urushevsky going to double figures for the season. And making a real game of it from the 72-minute mark onwards. But Apia defended, and they defended with plenty of commitment. A crucial 3 points for them. And they'll be very pleased with that, heading into a massive game next week, next Sunday, against the Western Sydney Wanderers. And we can't wait to bring you all the action next week. It's been a pleasure having your company here from Leichhardt Oval. Tony Tanous wrapping up a big 3-2 victory for APIA Leichhardt over Rockdale Ilinden.